My name is Phil Charles. I'm the technical manager for the Jaguar Formula E racing team. I moved from Formula 1 to Formula E around 4 years ago. What attracted me to Formula E was the fact that the championship has two main strings to its bow. First and foremost is that the development of the cars is wholly focused around leading edge technology. And secondly, the racing is super close and very exciting. On the tech involved, a race series is possibly one of the best and fastest ways to push technology forwards. You put a load of great people in a scenario where they are competing against each other, and the fruits of their labour are measured every other week. In fact, each week the winners are given hero status, they drink champagne, the losers feel the pain of watching them celebrate. There is no better motivation to make that technology work as well as you can. In our case, we are completely focused on developing the electric powertrain. The electric motor generator unit, the inverter that goes with it, the gearbox and the driveline all the way down to the upright. And for completeness, that also includes the suspension around the powertrain. In Formula E, all of that hardware is homologated for a race season. So just prior to the start of the championship, those components are locked in. However, Formula E, and in fact the development of any electric powertrain, is not just about specifying and manufacturing some really cool hardware. The systems and software used to control those items, along with the algorithms to optimise the usage of energy, are key to its performance. To that end, the optimisation of control systems, which generate a lot of data, are the key to success in Formula E. In Formula 1, history tells us that being the best at aerodynamics means that you win lots of races. And in fact, in recent years, the best powertrain and aero combination has been most triumphant. In Formula E, our game is about making the best electric powertrain. Then, after that, we exist in a software arms race. The teams are in a race to control their high bandwidth powertrains better than the others, to be more efficient than the others. And every other week, we play a very intense game of high-speed chess for 45 minutes. In that chess game, we send our drivers armed with our on-car and pit wall strategy tools into a racing battle with a fixed amount of energy, the victor getting to a finish line sooner than the others. Using that energy strategically is extremely important, as at the same time a load of other cars are trying to use the same narrow line of tarmac as optimally as they can. Now, let's turn to how Vertica fits into the analytics and machine learning software capability arms race that we are in. Vertica and its real-time analytics and machine learning capabilities are a great fit for our environment, as they can improve data-driven performance on and off the track. Our teams have been working together behind the scenes for a few months now, and I'm extremely pleased with the performance that Vertica is already unlocking. The number of engineers that we are allowed to have work on the data, both at the trackside and back in mission control at our headquarters in the UK, is limited by the championship regulations. As such, we need to maximise our resources' productivity in short and critical time windows. To do so, we need to exploit the best techniques available in terms of data processing and analytics. To gain insight quickly is key for our engineers. The in-database analytical functions in Vertica have already shown to accelerate that process. And as always, the proof is in the pudding. So far in Season 7, we have completed 7 races, and I'm proud to say that a Jaguar car has finished on the podium 5 times. As we now go through in a bit more detail, I'm sure you will see parallels with your organisation. We are on different tracks, but we're all in a similar type of race. We're all making decisions based on some form of analytics and machine learning. Firstly, let's put the data generated in the race weekend into perspective. It was recently reported that NASCAR would generate 100 million data points over a single race weekend. Putting Formula E and Jaguar racing into perspective, with Vertica we loaded more than 3 billion data points for just Season 7's race weekend in Rome. Data is growing in importance and volume in Formula E. Optimally tuning aspects of the car, the powertrain, suspension, steering, braking and power management can only be done if we have timely, accurate and complete data visibility. Powerful analytics and machine learning to analyse, predict and act. A clear example is the raw data logged on the car. Once that data is downloaded, Vertica can give us immediate access to more than 500 million data points, on which we can run analytics and machine learning capabilities that enable us to glean impactful results. Formula E is a perfect fit to exploit Vertica's capabilities. When you look back at a race event, a Formula E race day is also a blur of decisions and actions. It is unique in the fact that everything happens in a single day, or to be more precise, 11 hours. We start at 6 AM and by 5 PM it's all done. In that short amount of time, we do 2 practice sessions, a full qualifying session and a race. In that 11 hours, we are generating roughly 100 gigabyte of data that needs to be analysed as quickly as possible to improve the car performance for the next session. We therefore rely heavily on software to process that data for us. Vertica opens a new door for us. We collect as much data as we can in a well-defined and centralised analytical database and make it available to the relevant people at the track and at the factory quickly. We use Vertica's scalable and extensible MPP architecture to query the data and gain as much insight as we can. For example, there are more than 7,000 parameters in the car, and by running supervised or non-supervised reliability checks, Vertica can help the engineers make a decision to swap a faulty component just in time before the next session. So, Vertica helps keep the car running as well as making it faster. The same logic applies to many other parts of the team, such as the strategy group and the use of our driver in the loop simulator. In the latter, we do sessions with the race drivers prior to the real event, where we generate more than 250 gigabytes of data. Again, Formula E is quite unique in this respect. We get the final track layout just 2 weeks before the event. That leaves us with just 1 week to work on the prep of the racetrack with the drivers before we all travel to the race event in the second week. Optimization of our time is again key. We are developing new approaches to analyse that data with Vertica. We've been amazed by its performance and we're pushing as hard as we can to speed up its integration into every part of the team. Our legacy systems were just not fit for our goals, taking ages to load and query data, restricting us to a set volume of data we could handle and forcing us to work with aggregate and downsampled data. With Vertica, we now have full access to all the raw data, for every signal, for every test day, qualifying and race session, all at our fingertips. So far, we are just scratching the surface with Vertica, but we are amazed at the broad analytical and machine learning capabilities. We are doing things with Vertica that were just not possible with our previous database systems. By getting data into Vertica blazingly fast and with sub-second query response times, our race engineers in the factory have been able to realise value in the data between practice, qualifying and race sessions. That was just not possible to do before. And query performance has been phenomenal with Vertica. Using live aggregate projections, we accelerated a single query from 60 seconds to 15 milliseconds. This opens many avenues in terms of data analytics. By running the queries inside Vertica, we are now exploiting its capabilities such as machine learning and optimization techniques. This helps us find patterns and trends. For example, what driver's actions or car setup make our tyres work in their happiest window? What's on the road ahead? Running in-database analytics and machine learning will be a real game changer for Jaguar Racing. With access to all the data, 700 plus in-database functions and those super fast query results, Vertica helps us to make those time-critical decisions that impact how we manage and operate the cars. With Vertica's extensible framework, we are also looking forward to expanding beyond those 700 plus in-database functions. Using Vertica's user-defined extensions written in Python, Java, C++ or R, we have already built a bespoke low-pass filter to run against our data. That ensures top analytical performance without having to move the data to other systems or tools. Vertica analytics and machine learning ultimately delivers an edge that leads to more points, podiums and wins for Jaguar Racing. In summary, in today's fast-paced, data-driven world, there may only be a few seconds or less between first and second place. But the difference between first and second place for business success is huge. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to participate in Vertica Unify 2021.